Hello, my name is Shedrick Flax. This is my game level second milestone for advanced level design. So to start off, my main focus this level was to add more texture and life to the game and give an actual guidance to the player. As you can see, I have created a texture for almost all elements of the game. The first thing you'll probably notice is that I have added enemies. This basic capsule is one enemy. Then there's here where I have a three-pronged kind of square that represents multiple enemies. So this isn't necessarily. This isn't necessarily three precisely, but it's more than one, and that's how I have it set up. The little candy you see is the player's main goal for the level is to collect as many of these as well as finding the exit. The candy not only is visible and you can see it clearly, it's moving. The player can also pick it up. The reason I chose the textures that I have is we have a base texture already for the entire project using the sand. I used a second texture on the ground where I have these little enclosures to help guide the player into certain rooms so the player knows that this is where the plot of the level continues. Okay, starting off from this room, the player can really go in either direction. The right direction is a bit of a red herring. It's a good place to collect a bunch of candy, and the player can go there at any time. There's no repercussions negatively, except maybe wasted time. But the real critical path is through the left side. Here the player will go will have a straight shot to these areas which unlock each other. And that feature will be addressed in a future milestone. This part of the maze is larger than the other one in terms of room size, but as far as the number of rooms, it has less. This next area is essentially nearing to the final area after the player has gone through the other half of the level. He'll go through here, battle monsters, collect these final few pieces of candy, and then have access to the pyramid. Conversely, the player can also, if he has not already, go through this other side, and then he has access to the maze. So at no point is the player cut off from trying to go through the maze. It is an optional route that will grant them more candy, and these candies have a scoring feature. They help advance the game's story. They can be used in shops. The shops, they have some semblance of purpose. Later on, I might add health. I've been considering that if the model's ready, and if not, I can always just go in and all the animations are already there, so it would just be a matter of talking with our programmer to get those features in. One last thing is the pyramid itself cannot be jumped on. I've made sure of that. There's a box collider surrounding it so that even though it looks like can be easily leaped upon, it's actually just completely blocked off. off. The player shouldn't be able to reach upon it unless there's a physics problem where they kind of clash at a layer. The level exit is here. Is actually the plan is to actually have it be underneath the pyramid. So what will happen is the player will go through the entire level, and once they finish it, the pyramid will move backwards this amount, and the player can just drop down to a second crypt, and then just walk out of the level. And that should do it for my milestone.